Hello and welcome back to Sabaudi Showdown. It's me, Gonzo slash Digico, and I'm here today with Trike for the first time in the beat again. This week, first time we're here together. How are you doing, Trike?
I'm doing great. Excited to cast with you again. It's gonna be a fun
Mm-hmm.
time.
It's always fun, although this game I'm not super familiar with. We're gonna start with a Div 2 game between Jack and Russellweb, and that's gonna be a very spicy list of Teach, which might have been somewhat teched into Kobe. Um, so I have in between no idea and very little idea of how this matchup's gonna go, but it should be kind of fun to watch and learn. And yeah, after this we will carry on as a commentating couple and jump to Division One. So I guess we are scaling things up today. But
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
kind of fun. Have you played any? Well, you've played a bit of Teach, haven't you?
I played quite a bit of Teach, but I don't know if I played this particular list. Probably not. But but yeah, I think I have some good insights on Teach. I have no idea. I don't really have an idea about Kobe. Probably like some idea, like everyone else, but not
Hmm.
a lot. Um, but yeah, we'll get to that as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with Kobe just because on one has been vehemently trying to make the deck work. So I've been a bit of a bouncing ideas person, but yeah, it is kind of a bit rough on the dynamics. I guess you get some advantage of the leader ability, right? Because you get to save your cards, but also your own plays are gone, so your most powerful plays, being El Mepo mostly, are kind of not part of the equation. So there's definitely some interesting counter dynamics. Both of the decks seem to be annoying towards the main game plan of the other one.
Yeah, and then we already see the first, like the very interesting card in this deck. You wanna say what it is?
No, no, you go for it. I did the graphics for it. You can you can go ahead and take the talking credit.
If I didn't know better, I don't know. I have no idea why this card is played, to be honest. But it's a 5/7 vanilla, right?
Searchable
And
vanilla.
it is obviously, yeah, it's searchable, but I honestly still like I trying to wrap my head around it. Why you would need it? Like I'm very interested in seeing like what it's gonna do. Why it would be like played. I guess it's just a big body, I guess, to swing with. That's hard to swing into, I suppose. That's the only thing I could think about, right?
That's basically it. So like the main idea behind this is very difficult to swing into for Kobe, right? And Kobe's leader ability doesn't get impacted by Teach at all. So you will be able to swing into anything that's rested. You just go at it like you go ham. Whatever you play, it's gonna go straight into it and get some resources off of Teach. So like 6k bodies are already kind of all right, but this means that you have an extra 2k every time they swing into board. So it's genuinely just for attrition. No, no
Right.
other reason whatsoever. It's not a brick. It's searchable, and it's a body that is going to be very annoying for Kobe to swing into, and also quite good to swing into either Kobe leader or some of the smaller bodies you have over there, because you're not going to be KOing anything. At least not unless you do really insane setup on the matchup, right? So combat's going to be king on both sides, I think.
Yeah. That makes total sense. Obviously, we're gonna like and the wait. Can you grab it with Kuzan from trash? Yeah, with a 6 cost Kuzan, but not with a 5 cost Kuzan. I'm not sure if he plays a 6 cost Kuzan, but that would be able to take back the what is this
I,
called, San Juan or like Wolf or
mhm.
something. I'm not entirely sure
I
what it's
think
called.
both of them, right? Like five
Just everything.
cost and picks up at 5 cost, so you can pick up Von Agur with it. So you should be able to pick this up as
Oh
well.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you can pick up Vanaga. I was just thinking about Burgess because you always do that kind
Yeah.
of. But yeah, of course you can take off Vanaga. Yeah, you're right. So
Hmm.
everything can just take this card, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much like an easy body to bring back, and even with the blocker Kusan, I guess like a 7k rested, it's a lot more intimidating than pretty much anything else you can bring up other than yeah, aforementioned Vargas. Um, we are seeing a lot of like early dynamics with searching from Rosa Web over here, right? Because the deck does run like 12 searchers plus the Sengoku, so it's a lot to dig.
Yeah.
Does this impact your, I guess, your trashing dynamics over here? Like as a teach player from before, when do you think you would start pitching for leader ability?
It's a good idea. I think I as teach usually you have to think about what is like, why would I pitch, right? Like,
Hmm.
for example, if you play against Pluffy, you're trying to pitch or starting to pitch at the turn where they can double summon a body. You don't really care if they go +1 or like go even for a card. So if they play a 4-cost Zoro Zero, you don't care if they get another card. So if they stay even, you don't really care because you are losing a card too, and your cards are much more valuable than the ones of the opponent. So I would say searching, drawing, whatnot, you don't really care whatsoever. If you care about something, it's the cards that can on play summon something or like
Pressure.
have good or crazy ability on play. And these are probably the 6 to 10 Don turns where you actually just have to start pitching.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I think over here your main offender is likely just Helmepo. Like, I guess Hibari is going to be annoying to minus something and swing into it, right? But it's not that big a deal, and it's also the 6 done, like 5, 6 done turn. So I guess when you're going second, you might want to consider it. But if you don't have a rested body, which is very likely, you do not on your 4 done, right? Uh, I guess 6 is the number, and you just don't want that Elmepo to establish itself and swing and pressure you a bit.
Yeah, but also if I think about it now, of course the Helmepo is annoying, but it doesn't really establish anything, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
probably is good enough to get rid of your Burgess or whatnot because of the Kobe being able to swing and whatnot. But if you have the proper setup with a blocker or whatnot, then you could probably still not pitch there. I like being very, very um
card advantage, like having
exactly,
plenty of
exactly. You want to
resources.
keep your cards as much as possible, just to like be able to do as much as possible, counter out as much as possible in in the late game, because that's where it's count when it counts, right?
Hmm. Oh, hold on a second. It does seem like we might have a slightly incorrect list on the Kobe side, according to chat. I, Rosa, do you want to maybe give us an updated list? Maybe on chat, it would be great. But
Yeah, of course.
let's
Go ahead.
carry on.
Other than that, one thing, I'm not entirely sure who won the dice roll. Do you know that?
I'm not certain, but I'm sure we will hear in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I suppose it's Kobe, right? Because he went second, and I feel like both decks kind of want to go second because of their swing turns going 6 and 8 and whatnot.
Mhm.
So I think second is definitely the curve to get here. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, Kobe won. Thank you.
yeah,
That's
that's what I
very good.
thought. One interesting thing, I think Kobe is one of the decks that can get rid of the Burgess the best, probably because of the power reduction effects and whatnot. I don't know if he plays any events, um, but if
Uh,
there's any on plays coming through, the swings into Burgess could be devastating for Teach.
yeah. There is a one-off event that is super searchable, and being on honesty impact.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah, not a very surprising event to be seen there.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. One other card,
Ooh, there
I'm
we
not
go.
entirely sure what the Kobe does. Another
Big bad wolf.
big bad wolf. Do you know what the 8-cost Kobe does exactly? Is he gonna like?
um,
Is he able to swing into a body that's active,
so
or
on
just
play
yeah?
lets you turn let some character attack into an active body, including himself. So that's the on play
Ah,
of it. And then when attacking, you get to return 2 cards from trash to the deck, and that will give 1,000 for a turn to a character or leader
okay. And Kobe leader basically is like Rebecca stage or like Dressrosa stage where your characters have rush if they are swords, right? Was it
for
that?
characters. Yeah, sword
Yeah.
characters have rush
Okay.
for characters, and then I think navy characters get saved from removal by
Okay. Got
returning
it.
3
Got it. So you basically want to play the Kobe, get the cards back in your deck, use
Mm-hmm.
the lead ability as well as the Kobe ability to swing into the active character. So like keeping the Burgess standing in this case is not an option because you always want to swing, keep pressure on the Kobe. Also, just a 4 life leader, so you can keep up the pressure, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, you can't really defend the Burgess even if he's standing, right? Because Kobe can swing into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on attacking.
Yeah, if you don't take the on play. Oh, sorry, no.
Ah,
The Kobe is on play, but you do have Kusan that is when attacking. So
yes,
you
the
do have
four
that
cost is on
second
board,
second.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's it.
okay.
So like it does have a lot of ways to kind of swing at standing board. So nothing's actually quite ever safe. But
Yeah.
um, you do need to somewhat control this, right? I do like keeping that Kusan just standing pretty much forever until you need to use him properly.
Kobe's ability. lets you save a 7k or less. Was it
Yeah,
that?
that's it.
Okay.
That's it. You don't get to save the big bodies once per turn, and you need to return 3 from trash. So that basically means
Yeah, I mean that is,
you
yeah.
need some resources.
But that's probably just a given with you when you play like Sengoku and all these searchers to fill
Hmm.
your trash as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting into like a swing turn here for Kobe, I suppose. Like a eight, was it 8 don? Yeah, it looks like 8 don, right? He has.
Hmm.
So it could be a big body coming down here that actually attacks into one of the other characters. Like either was Burgess or Kuzan.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. I guess Kobe can swing into Bargers if you need to, and even buff himself rather than leader, like providing a 10 swing into it, and that will just be the blocker right after. Or you could just guarantee that you're getting rid of that Kusan, but it's not really great, is it?
Yeah, the problem with Kuzan is that, I mean, it doesn't matter where he swings, probably just gonna throw the Kuzan anyways, right? You're just gonna block and get
Yeah.
a San Juan from, or is it what's this actual name of the card?
I think it is San Juan. Actually,
Okay.
San Juan Wolf.
Get that card from the trash, or
Yeah.
maybe another Burgess. That's why I'm a little bit like questioning the San Juan, because of course he's another body that's big, but Burgess kind of does the same thing, right?
Yeah. You're just kind of running more barges, and
Yeah,
it's a bit better early, I guess, before the barges
I
gets
suppose.
to trash that much. Yeah, there we
And
go.
more consistency, I guess. So he doesn't have a Kuza, Burgess and trash here, so just the Wolf is good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No,
he does have Burgess.
he does?
Yes.
Okay, then I might need Jack to do some explanations. I think this is what just genuinely for content, isn't it,
This is
Jack?
probably for Kenton. That makes sense because I would say usually with a 6 cost Kuzan, you want to get the 5 cost Kuzan back, right? Obviously, it's not a thing here right now because it can get swung into, so that's not gonna happen.
And then the pokes come in.
Okay,
Mm.
but I like the idea of more consistency. So if you not don't have a Burgess whatsoever, whatnot, you have more time or like more opportunities to play the 6 cost Kuzan. And I don't hate it. I like that. Um, but of course, you always take the Burgess over the giant if possible.
Yeah. Also, so like we did see a 5 and a 6 into life. Now,
Yeah.
I don't hate the possibility of using that Peacock Kujaku to buff your leader all the way to a 7k and swing into one of the rested bodies to like deny more resources of Blackbeard at this point. I don't know how much hand, that maybe
It's
too
quite
much
healthy.
hand.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like 4 or 5 cards in hand,
It looks
I
more
think
healthy to be honest than that. It looks like six, seven, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
no, like it does look like pretty much a small pile rather than a hand. So I guess
Yeah.
just go live and let them
But
decide.
on the other hand, he got 1 card from his life, and if he wouldn't have swung into life with a 7k,
Yeah.
but swung into the character, he has like 2 less cards in hand. So maybe, yeah, you're right. He would have been on like 2, 3 cards now, I guess.
Mm.
So fair enough. 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
And Kobe's not really in the place where he can get killed because he's
Oh,
still on
true. No,
2
no.
life as a
Rowan,
blocker.
Rowan's right. Peacock only buffs character, not leader, so it wouldn't have
All
worked out.
right,
I
gotcha.
guess you could have done the other way around and buff Kusen instead of buffing leader with the Kobe ability, and just go all the way.
Yeah, I guess you could have, but then your leader's a bit more in danger this turn, I suppose.
Yeah, but you also have a more resilient Kusan on the way back, right?
Yeah,
So depending
I
where
don't hate
you
it.
are.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't hate it. So okay, now he grabs the other birches. It's good.
Now he does. Hmm.
I guess. Yeah, no, your theory totally stands. So it's like he just has more birches to pull it like in trash, so he has like more opportunities to take good cards for this particular matchup.
Yeah. I also do think it was just Jack being a bit mean for the league, but
Fair
it's
enough.
fair enough.
Totally fair. Don't hate it. I actually like it. We need more memers in the league.
Yeah, out of all of the text he could have gone for, this one at least is very very entertaining. So I'll give props. to our league organizer. Okay, now those are starting to be uh, bigger and bigger, and you're
Yeah,
catching some strays on chat. Rene loves you as usual.
because I forgot to beat him up last time we saw each other, but that's gonna come next time. Don't worry. All right. Well, Blackbeard sees two blockers, and we get rid of Kobe's blocker, so we are like super safe as Blackbeard in this case. We obviously
Yeah,
negate the on place so that there's no like attacking active characters.
yeah.
So
It
yeah,
would be. I think we're on that
Blackbeard.
point in the game where it's pretty much necessary to avoid any blowouts by like El Nepo copy, where you could get in real trouble now. But
Yeah,
double blocker is a lot.
really like that we have these like a little bit more off meta matchups. I would say Kobe is more of an off meta leader.
Hmm.
But one of the more liked ones. It's very interesting because I would have thought Jack would play Kobe. No, isn't that like his thing, Kobe?
Hmm.
Or am I
Yeah,
mistaken?
not quite, but he's been
Okay.
dabbling a bit into possibilities. He's been mentioning on general chat quite a bit.
Good.
But I do think we have some more Kobe stands. Like on one has been a bit too insistent on it. We do have our sponsor Bremner. If you haven't checked him out, go to his store. You can see it on our about list. Who's been like our main Kobe commentator, and we have seen quite a bunch of people on Division 2 trying it out. It's definitely an appealing leader. I don't know.
Did it
It's
win any games? Do you know, like any best of threes?
that is a good question.
I don't
He
know.
I don't actually know. Did we have a Kobe into Buggy? I haven't commentated one where it won because the
Okay.
on one was a loss. But I think other people have been commentating this a bit more.
Okay. Yeah, I
Oh, and
haven't.
it
I
did
don't
win
remember.
before us today versus Buggy. Yeah, we
Ah,
were
okay.
busy with our lives, Jack. We apologize.
Yeah, man. Come on, cut us some slack.
Mhm. I mean, whenever you get me out, let me get out of your basement. I need to like do all the things. I cannot be watching the games every time. Uh,
No, no, do it as like a next dinner evening with your wifey. You take and put like Jack stream on.
That's it.
Like,
Easy.
yeah, it's best content for the family, for the whole family.
Mhm.
All right, let's get back to the game maybe. So we have a wait. Where did the Burgess go?
Uh, I'm guessing.
It can't get swung into. Oh no, it got minus and got swung into. Okay, yeah, it
Yeah,
makes sense. So
that's it.
it got minus 4k probably, and then swung into after destroying the blocker. But then I'm not sure why we didn't block. I
I
think that's
guess
what would happen.
maybe just there were more swings available.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, yeah, fair enough. So what's a 10 cost gonna do? Probably like we need to get some more board because a 10 cost would like be really, really annoying for us in this point as Kobe. Um it's just gonna come down and freeze the only big body that we have right here.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, we're buffing
Yeah.
Kobe leader. Okay.
And Teach still has so many cards that small swings are not really annoying for him either. Okay, we have another blocker. Holy, this is the game of blockers. There's so many blockers in both decks. Small blockers especially.
I feel like both of them have like the good one cost blockers that are fairly easy to take advantage of. Even though don't get me started on Caribou. Like I'm really mad at the design team for like making a 2K blocker one cost with no drawback for
This is so
each.
good. Yeah, like what?
Yeah, well, it's like kind of terrible into every other deck because the on play is genuinely atrocious.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm very mad about
That
that. At
makes no
least it's not
sense. You're
searchable.
right. Totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Okay, but Kobe also doesn't have a lot of cards in hand anymore, so it's like 4 cards if I saw correctly.
Hmm.
We start off with a 7k at life. Okay, we can like search a card. Um, what did he take? I'm not sure. Is that a 2k he took?
Yeah, it's a 2K that when attacking lets you basically rehabilitate any 2K or lower blockers for the turn.
That
So
makes
like you
sense.
play that, swing with it, and the champ blockers are pretty much off the picture.
Okay. Okay, but now happened exactly what I said before.
Mhm.
The 10 cost comes down, freezes the only big body Kobe has, being the Kobe.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Or
this basically seals the deal for me here. We have a big board, we have a 10 cost plate. If Kobe doesn't like pull out 3 blockers and like some other big body at the same time, I don't know how he's gonna win this.
not looking great. I'd like to know how many cards Jack has in hand at this point because I guess
Yeah.
that there could be some hand size dynamics. Just because if you rest that teach, you are exposing it as well a bit. Uh, but it's not looking
Uh,
very
look,
hopeful.
look at the chat. It's the same thing as before. We got redeemed. I still think we should. Yeah, no, Rene probably has right. So I'll just. Well, you can speak German, right?
I cannot speak German.
Try it.
No, I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm not getting cancelled. It's fine.
So, so okay,
I
I'll
can talk
just.
Italian to you if you want. I could whip up some Basque, although I haven't spoken it in like 5 years. Or Spanish. That's kind of my where my expertise finishes.
Okay, we probably. Yeah. Okay, so we just could do like a quick minute in German then, yeah. Ähm, okay. Dann wohl alleine. Dann fühle ich mich genauso wie René vorhin. Das ist super. 3 Karten in Jacks Hand. Ähm, ja, wir können das nur einmal machen. Amir, auch für dich, wir können das nur einmal machen. Wir machen das einmal pro Stream. Das heißt, deine 1000 Punkte sind jetzt leider gewastet. Ähm, und genau, also Jack hat 3 Karten in der Hand. Äh, und sieht aber trotzdem nicht gut aus für Kobe. Auch wenn es nur 3 Karten sind, passiert hier relativ wenig. Denn die Swings sind alle doch relativ klein. Wir haben einen neuen Charakter auf dem Board, Hibani, ist
Mhm.
called? Ja, okay. Ähm, und die
Hibari.
Karte Hibari? Ah, Hibari, okay. Und das ist ein 6K-Swing, aber wahrscheinlich trotzdem nicht genug. Okay, I think this was 1 minute.
I think that's enough. So basically, every time someone pays 1,000 points, you're gonna be talking to yourself, and I will just pretend I'm
No.
capturing some stuff. It's good.
We can't do it again. It has to cap to like 1K point, like 1 times like per game basically. I think that's the cap.
Yeah, that does make some sense.
Army,
We will.
Army just wants me to speak German for the whole stream, for the whole upcoming stream. What is that?
Uh,
Okay,
okay.
okay. Let's get back into the game. What does Hibari do exactly?
Okay, so if I'm remembering correctly, it does have an on play to reduce something by 2k, and then on swinging gets plus 1k when attacking. So it's effectively like a 5/7 swinger
Okay, yeah, and
that gets to
yeah.
reduce something.
Okay, but we suppose the on play wasn't used, right?
Uh, I think not because there's like a huge thing on top of Blackbeard, which I'm assuming Jack is using to
What
represent the
is that?
ability.
It looks like something you mix drinks with, right?
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does not look very PG for our stream
No,
today.
it's after 8 o'clock, so it's fine.
Yeah, it is a shot measure. Yeah, fair
Okay.
enough. Yeah, on play minus 2,000, and then your character gets plus 1,000, and one of your navy leader or one of your navy leaders can attack active characters
Okay.
this turn. So it makes your
So
Kobe swing at standing bodies, I guess.
okay, but the copy is frozen, so he just tried to get rid of the other 2 blockers. Maybe gambled on Jack not having any counter in hand. So, but of course that didn't work. He had a 2K. He just threw away.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah.
that's a 5k swing. 2k, 1k with the Reaper we saw before.
Oh, and there's the second 10 cost. Okay. That basically seals the deal. I think same thing as if we were in a best of 3 in a tournament. I would probably just reach and say like GG at this point. Ah, no, he froze the blocker. Okay, that makes much more sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he
no,
just went for lethal there.
yeah, of course, that makes much more sense. I didn't see that Jack like Rose basically has no cards in hand. So yeah, fair
Huh.
enough. First game goes to Jack.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have seen one game of this, and we are now experts on it, so we need to do a lot better commentary in German next time. Uh, it
Yeah,
does
I
seem
hope you
like,
picked up some things, right? You picked up
yeah,
some
yeah.
German words now. You
Ah,
can just do it yourself next time. Okay,
mm-hmm,
perfect.
yeah. I'll just like, I don't know. I'll read some um, Rammstein lyrics or something for a minute.
Exactly.
Um, so it does seem like Kobe basically struggled to have a meaningful board presence this time around. I'm not too sure whether there's like an easy way to develop board for the deck because yeah, I don't think Teach is gonna make that easy for you without the on plays. And as you mentioned, even if you manage to get a Helmepo swing down there, you haven't really like developed as much. It's just a one-off swing that you might get some
Yeah,
value off of.
yeah, totally. So maybe adjust this strategy here, and try to play more boards instead of swinging. I think it would actually be also really viable of for Kobe to starve the Blackbeard, right, and start swinging to all the active characters.
Yeah, yeah, I do think you might just want to like force a resource war and keep them on a high life count. But the problem is once the Teach characters start coming down, I'm not even sure you can take the game. So like obviously it's less likely that you get to chain a couple,
Yeah.
but I think you might need to switch gears if you see the stage, just because at that point they're gonna see Burgesses and Teachers, right? Um, and they're gonna be huge.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I mean, I think one answer to 10 cost would be the Honesty Impact, having a character to be able to swing into the active Teach after it's
Hmm.
played. Honesty Impacted. Yeah, Doll makes sense, but Doll is an on play, right? If I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah.
So Doll would be obviously incredible. Put it down to like what, an 8, no, 7K or something, or
If
6K.
it was to work, yeah, 6K.
Yeah, yeah. If it works, that would be amazing, but probably not gonna happen. So we have to usually use the events, right? The Honesty Impact doing minus 4K and popping a 6K. So we can even destroy a blocker as well to get rid of some board and then swing into maybe the big guy.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, I'm also thinking, taking a look at the list a bit, right? The Hinas might actually let you like balance pressure a bit better. I feel like most of this game, Rosa was just like struggling to do meaningful swings into board because everything was a
Oh yeah,
7K.
makes
So
sense.
like that Hina being there and being like kind of removal proof, cost wise,
Yeah,
could help a
no, for
bit.
sure. What is? Oh yeah, that's yeah. No,
Well,
that
I'm
makes sense. Just try to get
positive.
Hina on board. Hibari obviously is a good body to get on board. Um, what's kind of interesting is maybe the 4 cost 2K. If you don't have to counter out with it, you can just use it to put more cards back and teach his deck. So the Burgess is shrink a little bit.
Oh yeah, very
Obviously,
good.
it's a bit of a
Yeah.
tricky thing because it's non-play, right? But might be possible here and there.
Yeah, there might be some small windows for it. On curve seems a bit terrible unless like we got some like triple this is my error situations. But you know, keeping an eye out for that is definitely good. And we're only running two though, and one of them is the Rosinante blocker instead.
So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how Rosa is going to adapt to this
Mhm.
now. He's
Yeah,
probably going to go second again, I suppose.
I don't think there's many reasons not to do that.
It's perfect curve. We can play everything on curve. We can even play like double Hina if possible on like 8 or something. Still pressure opponent. Yeah, it's probably way better than going first.
I guess if you have to go first, at least you have the Hibari play, so Teach has to decide whether to let you have Hibari or not, because obviously she's not going to be able to swing into much of a board, I don't think. But if you have like an Aramaki setup, or there is some kind of rested character, you can play Hibari, swing into the rested
Yeah,
character, make your leader go into active, and minus whatever active is there. But it does seem kind of difficult to pull off because there's not really going to be anything on board other than like
yeah, agreed.
maybe a searcher.
Okay, let's go. Let's start off. Yeah, Kobe goes second again, and we instantly have the key card in this matchup in our trash, the
Hmm?
Big Bad Wolf.
Yep. Oh man, I have the music just playing on the back of my mind every time I see Wolf over there. I don't know if you've witnessed the
I have.
experience that is the Big Bad Wolf some video clip, but it's worth YouTubing. If anyone on chat hasn't seen that, definitely worth 3 minutes. Very bizarre and fun.
Okay, I'll definitely have to check that out after the stream.
Hmm.
What did we grab with Brainiac?
Um,
I didn't see
uh,
that.
2K stronger.
No,
Oh
with
no,
the
with
Brainiac.
Branio. Oh yeah, no, no. I was paying attention to the other searcher.
All right. If anyone in chat saw it, let us know.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, we throw 8 at Kobe. That basically means we don't have any early game, right?
Yeah, or we really want to get Kobe down, but I'm not sure that's where I want to be. Like, it obviously makes sense in general for leaders to try and push forward against 4 life leaders, right? And Kobe can be a bit squishy, but I'm not sure. Like, in these kind of cases, I almost prefer forcing them to give me a 1K counter on a 5 swing. Uh, because even if they take it on 5 and I don't have anything to play, it's fine.
Why do we throw away the Hina? What's the idea there? Um,
We
Playing the
might.
1 cost here and searching instead of playing the Hina to
I,
build
th-
board.
I think over here, I almost guarantee just play the Hina, return 1 and swing 6, or just swing a 5, depending on what I want over here, right?
Yeah, I
But
would
like,
say
I'm
6
leaving
makes
that.
sense. 5 makes sense because we put the Don on Hina herself, right? It says
Yeah.
like we have to put a card on the bottom and then she gets it on. But then we're safe from like some KO effects. I don't know how
Ah.
much KO Teach plays instead of except the black hole, I suppose, right?
But like we
Um,
do have leader ability, right? So if we already have 3 trashed, I think we're kind of alright. I guess the problem would be our trash might just have 2 cards at that point, right? We pick one from brand new, there's 2, and we haven't had a chance to counter. So maybe we didn't
yeah,
play the Hina to keep it safe.
for one that maybe, or like Rosa said in that case, his hand just was trash, and so he just
Yeah.
wanted to get something in his hand that's good, and was his only black card in hand. That makes sense. I think that's a reasonable thing to do then.
Hmm. Also,
Um,
just
yeah.
for the for the viewers here, Rosa didn't really know this either, but there's no 4 cost KO events in Jack's
Oh
list.
my
So
god, that's crazy. Oh yeah, right. The leader helps out Hina as well, and I forgot about that. Well, never mind then. I don't know. Then I think I would have kept the bad hand just to play the Hina. Just put some pressure on the board.
yeah, I guess it's just a bit of a gamble to guess that. I probably would have done the Hina return 1 and make it a bigger cost just for the sake of like playing it safe if we're seeing some finger pistols or some shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's
What do you say? What if Kobe would have been black blue, navy thing? Same
Ooh.
effect though. You think it would have been viable? Probably, right?
Huh, that's fun. So I do think so, just for the protection and like pseudo rush, because like that's kind of what Usopp is trying to do, right? Like you
Yeah.
get card advantage when things are KO'd, and then like the deck is insane when you have um the stage in play. But on the other hand, you don't have any power reduction, so I guess your rush is also a bit more meh. I would have
Fair enough.
killed to have that though. Like the Saka player in me would have been very, very happy to have a Navy leader that actually does something meaningful. Um, hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it would have been really good. I think it would have been probably too good because of course rush is not great, but cannot like Kuzan and whatnot also rush then?
Yeah.
And just put reduction instantly on the opponent's bodies, or is it just sword characters?
Is it just
Maybe they
sword
should have printed the
characters?
sword characters as blue characters and gave them cost reduction instead, and then we have a good new leader, right?
Yeah. Or
Um,
bouncing at cost would have been like very, very fun and unbalanced as well.
yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been very good probably. But okay, back to the game. Jack pointed it out. We have the 5 cost on curve. And now
Ooh.
let's. No, that's good. That's good. You have to do that now every time we see a wolf.
Yeah.
And now we have to see how Kobe is gonna get rid of it because it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's somewhat difficult. Okay, so we are using Aramaki to buff that Hibari and allow it to swing into active characters. and that's
So
straight going at the wolf.
it's an 8k swing now, right? Or 9k even. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tough to count out. You probably just let it go, right? At this point, it's like the whole turn basically quote unquote wasted to get rid of that character. And Teach usually doesn't really care if his characters get like taken off the field. I think the cards in hand are more important, especially because there's a 5 at life now, and you probably would have rather like save that one. On the other hand, you keep the body on
Mm.
board and can now counter swing into the Hibari. Is the
Yeah.
Hibari keeping the costs, the power, or no?
No, I don't think so. Let me double check, but I think it's just for the turn.
Okay. Ah,
Yep.
no, okay, he's taking it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Um, but yeah, like I said, you lost 2 cards here. You kept the body on board, so you have to do the math. And if the wolf nets you another 2 cards from your opponent, you're probably pretty fine to defend it, right?
Mm.
Especially if you want to try to swing into your opponent here. If he nets you alive and that's your game plan, then totally fine to protect it. Um, in any other case, if you have the opportunity to get it back from trash, I probably would have personally let it go.
Just let it go.
But yeah, we'll see what he's gonna do with it. So he's gonna swing live. So his plan is to swing live.
He's just pressuring. I'm guessing we might see a Kusan now then. Kusan blocker, maybe?
6, 7. He has one on open Kuzan and another one cost blocker, maybe something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe an event. Yeah, but it's like split as 4-3. Um, I know Jack's a bit feisty. With what he does with his son. I know he likes his opponent guessing. So maybe he just scoops it all up and plays a 7 cost teach. Who
Yeah.
knows?
What did we just grab?
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
hoping for the Kobe there, but
I think we took counter, right? Some counter
yeah,
cards.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Now we play the searcher first. So it wasn't a 4-3 split, it was a 2 and then a 5 probably, maybe another Kuzan to
Into
pop
another
and play
wolf.
Wolf, play another Wolf, yeah. At this point you could think about hmm, you could think about maybe getting the badges out of trash because your trash is kind of filling up at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to become a 7k next turn on. So okay, we play another 1 cost event, I suppose. Oh no, blocker and then a 4 cost. So yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, makes some sense.
That was good. I like that. Build some pressure on the board. Some.
Hmm.
Do we use leadability here though? Is that the question? Okay, we do. I think probably the right choice. I think you always want to use leadability from this turn on, just because you don't want to get co-beat or like helmet board, like you said.
Yeah, I think at this point, just the helmet would be a lot of trouble, especially we have enough things to swing into, and also like another Hibari would like make our wolf or our barges a lot smaller, making things a lot more complicated for Jack. Like
Yeah.
if you were to give minus 2000 to that, that becomes a 4k. That is likely gonna become a 5k this turn, right, on counter, but still. That's gonna eat away a lot of resources. The Hibari swings into San Juan, allowing your leader to swing into barges, and it just the whole thing kind of spirals really quick. 3 cards in hand. Huh. Okay.
So like it's not a lot of cards, but I mean he has his blocker, and there's not really a lot happening, I suppose. What I
No.
like is that Kobe has the Brenyo on board because the Brenyo is a potential swing, better than all the 1 cost
Yeah,
searches and
definitely.
whatnot. Yeah, he definitely can do something.
Mhm. We are gonna be on a dawn now, right? Yeah.
Mm, yeah, it should
Okay.
be. If we went second, yeah, of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do the same thing as last time, right? We could just play an 8 cost Kobe. What I think is fair. We could also try to play like 2 or 3 smaller bodies, probably 2. Like a Hina and another Brenny or something, and then swing what like 7/7 or something with your characters. I feel like that's very good. We can pressure the body. Play like some more stuff. Of course, we have a bit of a pressure on our life now because we only have 2, but we have quite a few cards in hand as Kobe.
Yeah. I'm I'm trying to think of it because that Hibari is doing some work right now just by existing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's basically setting up a timer on either of your um,
Hmm.
blocker or what's his name? Barges.
Okay, yeah. I like, yeah, and the second Hibari now, even better.
Now we're gonna be going sevens at that San Juan, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. That's how I would play it. And if we have, maybe play another one cost would be fine, but I think we just trying to swing 7-8 at the San Juan, get 2 more cards out of the hand, or like get the body.
I think we're gonna go 7 and then 8 at the barges, but yes,
Oh yeah, we can attack active characters. Yep, that makes sense.
with leader specifically. But
Of course.
yeah,
Actually, Burgess is on 7. He only needs a 2K. If I
yeah,
look at it
yeah.
correctly, there
He's
are what,
missing,
9 cards? Yeah.
I think 9 cards, so that can get to 10. Like if he uses both cards, yeah, that's fair enough. But you don't have a hand size anymore.
Yeah. Okay, he
Yeah,
does counter out of it and
yeah.
get another 7, and then
Ooh,
what, like an event maybe, or another
a
searcher?
Reaper, I'd say.
Oh yeah, of course. You could also see it on the blocker. Totally makes sense. Protect our board on the backswing.
Oh, we
Oh no,
win.
he swung at the. Okay.
Ah,
Can he not attack active characters here, or?
he can with the Hibari swings.
But not with the leader.
With the leader, yeah. Hibari makes your leader
Ah.
swing into actives. Only your
Then
leader.
this made no sense, Rosa.
We demand explanations, chat.
Yes. No, it's fine. Maybe he had like a plan with it. I'm not entirely
I
sure.
mean,
We're
we
not
we
seeing the
might
whole picture.
we also need to be a bit lenient. This is one of the early stages of Rosa picking up the deck. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Hmm.
And he's still, yeah. Trust you. Okay, it makes sense. I don't know your hand, so I do have to trust you on this. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that absolutely tracks. We
Actually
take it
makes
back. We take it back. Okay, this is looking a lot better for Kobe than before, right? Like
way better.
it's not ideal, but Jack somehow got into 3 cards in hand, just having that barges in play, and we do have 2 Hibaris that are doing a lot of heavy lifting plus a blocker to protect them, and that brand new and that can actually swing into things. So
Yeah, I suppose this is actually like one of the best board states you can have, right? Like you have
mhm.
4 potential swings next turn.
Yeah.
To pressure to 0 life, and then maybe even set up another body. Jack doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. I mean, he has still 3 life, but obviously, he can also just play another body to have another potential swing for after the 10 cost turn. So this is not great, yeah. Okay, we get rid of the
Leader
blocker.
ability 8.
And Kuzan, yeah, fair enough. Okay. So what's the deal here? He has 1 card in hand. We're trying to get rid of the whole board, right?
Mhm. And we have exactly 8 for that barges, and Kuzan actually revives something of trash, so it doesn't increase
Ooh.
trash count. So there's no way for that to become a 9.
And it's always getting plate rested, right? So it's something we can swing into with anything, anyways. Oh, okay.
Oof.
Oh, we can reduce the Burgess, kill the Kuzan, and then have
Mm,
a really easy target to swing into. Yeah, that's cool. That's really nice.
that
Really good
is
point of playing it.
masterful. Yeah, that was painful.
So he does have another Burgess, but we have 4 more done. The Hibari buffs itself, so this is both gonna go at this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
this looks like a over game.
Oh
I don't know how
no.
TG's gonna like, come back from this. Yeah, 6 into that, and then just Hibari's into the focus.
I think I actually kind of liked going into the big one first.
Why? No, of course we have to go in the big one first, because if he
I
has a
I don't
2K, right?
I don't think
If
it
he has
makes a difference, right? Because he was 1 away. Uh, but I
yeah,
would have definitely just panicked myself because the other one is basically super small, right? It's a 4 at this point. So just leave that for later, and even some tricks will not do it.
so okay. Trying to find a play for next turn if you don't have a 10 cost. But maybe also thinking about like what can we even do at this board state, right? Like if you're right and he doesn't play any destruction events or removal events, this is gonna be tough boards to deal with because he only has his leader swing.
Yeah, I yeah, we just take the cushion because it's the card advantage one, right? So maybe we can somehow chain into Barges and a blocker. This is looking grim.
It is. I guess 10 cost here, swing 5 life, could be fine because getting rid of the 10 cost is basically impossible, and we can't get killed in any capacity next turn.
Yeah.
And then if we have a second 10 cost, we're probably chilling already again. So no, maybe not because we have to use leadability, right? Okay, we see the Kuzan, so not 10 cost. We also don't have stage. That makes it a bit hard to find like all our key pieces.
That's kind of the problem with Blackbeard sometimes, right? Like when you have the stage, you have a lot of reliability on being consistent, but whenever it's missing, you're kind of scrambling for it, and those Hibaris are punishing you big time.
Okay, but yeah, we play another blocker. Oh, we swung it live actually, just to make sure that we are able to kill our opponent next turn.
Mhm.
If he's not able to kill us this turn. And I don't hate it. Actually, don't hate it.
No.
Sith.
Ooh, that
Oh,
lets
we
you swing into active characters, so that's gonna make brand new a lethal weapon.
okay. And he didn't use leadability. Wait, no, Teach used leadability. So how did he? How was he able to
It's
use
not an
it?
on-play, it's activate main. You can trash it,
Oh,
trash the two cards of your deck and one of your navy character. I
yeah,
don't know
makes
if it's
sense.
navy actually, but one of your characters gets to swing into actives. I think it is navy, but just double checking.
I just got word that Toronto has a Bello Betty finals. And now I'm a bit disgusted. So all
Yeah,
right, let's
if
see.
your leader has the navy, one of your navy type um, characters can also swing into actives.
Okay. Yeah, we probably. Yeah, we just probably going for game here, right?
Mhm.
Go 8, and then put the rest on leader and swing for game.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
no Vivi to be found there.
that's cool, card. I like Vivi. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, Rosa takes the second game. So Kobe actually wins his unfavored
Hmm.
matchup, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I I still feel like there are some interesting dynamics here, but yeah, it does feel like Kobe struggles a bit more into this than Blackbeard does. Although this list is a bit more tuned to not be punished by leader effect, right? Like basically we're seeing no KO effects whatsoever, and it's just blockers and somewhat unfair. But it's like Barges or Teach.
Yeah.
So Jack definitely was metagaming in this specific instance. Hmm. So what we wait between the two of them? How would this situation look like with Kobe going first?
Kobe has to
Because
go first. Yeah.
mhm, on its odd curve doesn't really have a lot of like high strength options. Like you really want to see that Hibari, so I think your first two turns are just gonna be like searching for it like a madman. And then on 7, yeah, like I don't really know what your best play patterns would be. Maybe you get to establish a Hina and just swing somewhat hard twice and see where that leads you, or set up some Reaper or Aramaki to to get some action afterwards.
Yeah,
That I
I
don't
feel
know.
like a second Hibari could also be just be good.
Yeah.
Like just do the same thing as this curve, right? Just
Hmm.
play 5 cost into 5 cost. Um, but yeah, you have to have them obviously, and if you can't, that's yeah. Hmm. I don't know. And each plays his 4-cost curve, so it's a bit more annoying for you. But of course, he's not playing removal deck list, so it's not as bad if he goes second. Of course, he can play the 10-cost one turn earlier, and I feel like that is the more impactful thing here actually. Because we've seen both games now. If he had the 10 cost on curve, or actually he had the 10 cost on curve in the first game, it felt much better for him, and that could actually be key. If the board goes wide, you just drop the 10 cost. You basically have one more life every turn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a free block every single time, and there's nothing that can be done about it. Uh, it's fairly difficult because you do want Teach on a spot where they cannot safely drop that 10 cost, but it's really hard to get there on a list that's running, okay, 6, 10, 14 blockers. No, sorry, 18 blockers other than Teach, plus 4 or 5 cost Kusen to revive them as well. I'm kind of getting mad at Jack just looking at the list, to be honest. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, maybe we should stop looking at the list then.
Yeah.
Maybe let's look at Kobe's list here. Maybe it's more interesting because he also said like he has one more Rosie blocker in there. Like, and I like the chump blockers, right? They're like really nice to fit into like all the little spaces. They're really nice to have like one extra life in certain situations, and especially in this meta where there's not a lot of removal. Like they can do a lot of work.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, thinking ideally turn 1 you definitely want to be searching, right? So maybe even a peacock to be able to swing a bit higher later would be good. Turn 2 you might want to swing like a 7 to get a life off, or a 6 to get rid of one of the 2Ks, and then develop something else. Either I think if you have Branio, ideal turn 2 is just Branio and swing 6. And then on 5 you start Hibaring if possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of a bit rough though, because Hibari is not going to swing into anything at that point, so you're only going to get a 2K swing. Maybe you can try and set up an Aramaki so that Hibari could swing at something.
Okay, we take the Hibari. So Jack knows that it's in his hand. What's our four? Yeah, okay. Our four don't play pretty obvious. We're probably just gonna drop a Purges, right? Yeah, makes sense. I heard once from a good Teach player that Teach plays like two different decks, whichever curve you go, right? If you go first, it feels more like a removal kind of deck. Of course, Jack doesn't play this like removal heavy list. But if you go first, you have more like this 5-cost Kusa and grabs reduction, plays the 2-cost to pop something, right? You play more this removal kind of game. While if you go second, you play more this like heavy utility, like heavy board control Burgess kind of game. So that's what I really like about Teach, that you can just like adapt to whatever your opponent is doing.
Those were some tough decisions for Russell Webb there. I do feel like that Aramaki could do some work by swinging into an effectively 5K Barges this turn, right? It's kind of a bit iffy, but you could have swung 7 into the 5 using the Peacock and just making brand new a lethal weapon and kind of starve a bit that way. But kind of hard. We're getting some interesting. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, at least we have the Hina on board now, right? Something we were missing like the last two games. Hina very, like we said, probably very good in this matchup. But now we see it for the first time actually in action.
Yeah, there's some interesting conversations in the chat about Ross's deck list as well, because it's kind of fun to decide whether you want Bogart or X-Drake on the list, right? Like X-Drake is sword, so it will get to swing into something, but it's not a black card, so it means your count for Sengoku is hindered by running that card. So Yeah, I could see that 2K coming up in the future in some Kobe lists if we have a replacement for Sengoku. If we find like maybe a different brand new equivalent or searcher of some kind or some like throw two trash one kind of cut.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Little interlude from Rosa in chat. He said he should have taken the life and he's accidentally starving himself. Probably makes sense, yeah. I don't think Kobe has a big problem going down to 2 life, especially because he is more so struggling with like cards in hand and especially finding his pieces.
Yeah, that does make sense. That swing is probably takeable, but I don't blame him for not immediately taking it either because that Barges is already established, right? And we do have a Kusen that can return another Kusen. So we do have some level of pressure there if we start seeing some more Barges on trash somehow, or like a This Is My Era stage. So it can get scary quickly. But yeah, you're probably right. That seems a bit safer to, well, not safer, but the I guess has a higher reward to just take that life and find things. Okay, now the fun begins.
What are Wait, how much done are we on? 7?
Say 7, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So we're making Kobe, like Aramaki makes Hibari swing into active. Hibari makes Kobe swing into active.
It's funny. I like it. I like the kind of interactions between all these characters because it feels like a proper deck, right? It feels like all the interactions were planned in between them. But then again, you have a red black leader, which does really synergize really well, right? In retrospect, we had like one red black leader, the Garb, right? And it never really took off, even though it has an actually really, really powerful effect.
Yeah, that's kind of busted. We did have Sabo as well, and that did seem to get some niche good results in Japan. But yeah, I just feel like for 4 life leaders, you really need to have a busted ability to make use of all of this and enough support. If you don't
Yeah.
have synergy and a good ability, you're kind of cooked.
And now imagine you only have 3 life. Whoever could play a leader who has only 3 life can't be good, right?
No, no, it has to be trash. Like it, maybe you need to draw twice per turn and set up
That would
into
be
a
crazy. No
deck,
one would do that though,
or
right?
like, yeah,
Right?
no, I don't think so. I don't think anyone would.
That
Not that
would be
we had.
way too good. That's cool. Weird, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, like I totally agree. Like all the 4 life leader that actually took off in the meta. Let's take like Law for example, right? Like red purple Law back then, a way too busted ability. We even didn't even have it at full power. So
yeah.
yeah, we didn't even have the worst of it, but it still like was really annoying. Or Bello Betty, for example, right? Like you throw one card and you get like 9k counter, 9k power. It's really really strong.
100%.
Okay, back to the game. But we don't really have trash as teach, right? Or am I missing something? There's like no
No.
stage, so that makes it really, really hard to like cycle cards.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Okay. I'm. I definitely think I swing 7 into that.
Yeah, I don't know why we would keep the 1 cost here. I don't think it makes any difference if it's on board for the next few turns, but we really could have used it this turn, especially because it's a Kuzan and Kuzan is worth so much, right?
Like, to be honest, I might have even swung 8 with Peacock and Hina ability.
And Hina ability?
Or have we already used? I think we have already used Hina ability. Yeah, 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 we already used Hina ability
Ah,
to
okay.
attack
Yeah,
Peacock.
the extra Don. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I would probably use it already.
yeah. Only
But
because we had 7 done, right? So we used 1 for Aramaki, 5 for Hibari, and we already attached that
so yeah. No.
to Kobe to go 7.
But yeah, this was definitely questionable. That's a bit nice. We see a stage, but we see it paired with 2 10 costs, and we can't really have 2 10 costs go to the deck to the trash here, right?
That is rough.
That
Yep,
is really rough. So
that
we
is
take the
very
10
rough.
cost, but we have to let go of the stage. It's a bit rough, yeah.
Hmm. Oh. That might have been like the worst possible search bar, maybe 3 10 costs.
Yeah. Wait, Rosa, you said your brain just died. It feels like your brain was dead the whole time already. That's crazy.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's a great. No, you took the second game like really, really well. It was very good.
Yeah,
Well played.
that honesty impact was genuinely like backbreaker. Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, it's obviously it's very favored for. Oh no, actually, maybe not. Maybe it's not favored for Teach if there's no stage on board because it actually is like one of the key piece, right, to find your stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, you're struggling to like go through the deck. Like, if we were to swing one more and reduce hand size by one more for that cushion, we would be in a very, very interesting situation now.
This chat is giving me so many opportunities to make jokes, and I'm not gonna take them because it would be way too easy to joke about Rene.
Yeah, no, I think
That's
I
the-
think we take the high road for
Yeah,
now.
yeah. We
Like,
take the high road. We're trying to like do proper commentary and not trying to. Maybe I'm even putting the chat off because it's like it's way too much. No, it's fine. But
Rene, do not goad anyone. Stop.
all right. But
He
what?
enjoys this way too much.
Oh, he does. He does. It's totally fine. It's good. Okay. I hope we have a play for this turn. I hope we have like a um maybe like another Kuzan or maybe something trash. Maybe we do have a stage in hand, so we're fine with like letting go of the stage anyways. Would be probably the best thing that could happen there.
It's possible, but was that stage better? Sorry, was that Caribou blocker better than stage the previous turn when we had like no
Oh
trash
yeah.
for Vargas?
No, probably not. I think if we have the stage, we should have played it as soon as possible, but maybe we just top decked it, right? It doesn't look like it though. Um,
Hmm.
Jack is again doing his shenanigans with his stun. He's never gonna have. He doesn't even play a 3 cost body, so I have no idea where he's putting a 3/3. Um,
He
but
just
like
loves keeping us on our toes. That's it.
exactly, he's doing it for us. Good guy, Jack. Oh, okay. Well, um, so what's the play? Is it another? Oh, it looks like it's another Kuzan, maybe.
Yeah. There's Mr. Barges, and those are effectively sevens already. Not quite, but almost.
Okay, 5 ton. Oh wait, how big are our budgets actually? They're one of
7. Yeah.
7. It's a bit awkward. And
Yeah.
but I mean, Rosa doesn't really have a lot of cards anymore in his hand, so it's maybe possible for him to get starved, right? Like we just swing to the board. He has to basically let his bodies to go because he
Oh.
didn't take that life the turn before. I feel like
Mhm.
it's actually big, like really impactful. Okay, he just plays a bunch of blockers. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I we're running 18 blockers on the deck, plus 5
Wow,
cushions. So, yeah,
18
I
is
feel
crazy.
like that's kind of the whole thing. You know what? Reaper would be very, very good right now. The 2K that stops blockers for the turn when attacking.
I gotta say, I'm a Vivi believer from day one. I played it in Lucci before, right? I love Vivi. Vivi is an amazing card. I would have loved to get the winner Vivi. Wait, I actually got the winner Vivi, I think. Oh, did I? I don't remember. But I sold it. At least I know I sold it.
Yeah.
So
It is a very, very good card, but it's just been, I guess, outshined by some other blockers that are more
yeah,
reliable in this spot.
of course. Because other blockers, for example, get a 2K counter
Yep.
and
Yep.
cost 1.
Because why not?
Why
Uh,
not?
You need 10, so we're not on active VV territory right now.
Okay. I mean, it gets quickly, right? Get rid of one blocker. We get
Yeah.
rid of 2 cards in hand, and all of a sudden it's a blocker.
Yeah. No one play for that. Kobe. That's gonna be a 7 into a 7.
I like that both are very methodical now. They're taking their time to do their turns. Not just playing fast and trying to do a go for game quickly, but actually trying to do this smart plays here, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, they're trying to make sure nothing costs them the game at this spot. And now it's a decision to either peacock or not peacock that Hina and go one more 7. I think you have to. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
that's it. And now
Yeah.
we're on 10. Now BV is a blocker.
Okay, that's good. But I like that we finally used the peacock because I'm getting anxious when it just lays on the board the whole time. Like, just use it, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like it might have been a bit better before just to pressure that cushion just enough to limit
Yeah, agreed.
Jack's choices. And
I
I
agree.
also think with how the board was setting itself, it might have been worth hanging on and not swinging a 5 sooner to just keep lower hand size on Jack. So like after we swung into barges and took some cards off of hand, maybe just like not go. But I think this is like 2 turns ago, so it required some mapping of the starving.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And again, it's because no stage, right? If there's stage, it's a different
Oh, if
story.
there's stage, this is a different game for sure. Because we're just going through our deck, seeing all the key pieces we need, right? So yeah. But Rosa made it a bit more fair. He tried starving himself. So he said like, okay, you have no stage. I have 2 less cards in hand. Let's even it out.
Yeah.
Now we're getting for the swings for life because we have 2 Burgesses and they're getting quite big, and there's a 10 cost. So we are basically in the same territory as the first game, right? We're just freezing the one big body that's on board. We have 2 Burges on board. This looks pretty cooked, to be honest.
Yeah.
No idea how we get rid of all of this.
Uh, Jack is deciding what to get rid of for leader ability and if to get rid of.
Yeah, I think you always use leader. I don't think there's a world where you don't, right?
I don't think you can afford it.
There's just no necessity for not using it.
Oh, we got rid of a 2K too. How much work does Honesty Impact do right now?
Probably not enough because we do have a second like small blocker. Okay, we can get rid of it, but then there's a big blocker like waiting for us, right? So we can't really get rid of anything,
No.
especially because it costs like what 4 Don. Even doing -4 on the teach and then swinging like 9 into one of the Burgesses or whatnot, like we just block 2k. If there's a 2k in hand, obviously. Otherwise, we just probably just let go one of the Burgesses, and then we still have like 3 swings next turn. So I don't know. That doesn't feel like enough.
No, not quite. Not quite enough. Morgan might have been fun, but those are likely gonna turn into 8s as well. No, why? Okay, I don't think that should be an 8.
What are we trying to swing at? If we're trying to swing 8.
I'm assuming barges. There's one card in Jack's hands. So if that is counter,
I mean, yeah, we just block the other 8 and play another blocker. Yeah, let's see what Jack can pull out of his last card in hand, or maybe his top deck.
so this turn, hear me out. What if you just swing 7 with Hibari? You have 4 dot left. Then you swing 5 into Vivi
Yeah,
with Kobe if you want.
yeah.
You need an 8 with brand new anyways, which sucks a bit. So you're 1 don short, left or right.
Can we do
Mm.
Hibari effect on Brenu so we can swing with Brenu into the VV?
You can only do it on leader.
Okay, then it probably sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's missing 1. If that Hina was alive somehow.
I mean, the game does feel cooked, but What if Jack doesn't have good cards in hand? What could happen then?
I mean,
Like Rosa still has 2 life, right, and a blocker, so there's still like one more turn to play for him basically. If there's no good cards in Jack's hand, if he like for example just has like what like 2 more blockers or like I don't know 2 2Ks whatever. Okay, yeah, he takes the safe road. He just swings for board and clears the board, and now he's putting a bit of pressure on life. I mean, that's true. He does play a lot of blockers, so whatever he has in hand is probably something he can protect himself a little bit more. And Teach has like 3 life still at
mhm.
this point. With a Teach blocker, and if he does have another blocker somehow, somewhere, that's probably enough to just live another 5 turns. So yeah, Teach is probably no danger to lose.
No, I think maybe if we could have baited into swinging with that teach, you might get somewhere, but it's very difficult. Okay, now what? Okay.
Oh yeah, we take the life. Wait, we bait him into swing with a Teach. Oh no, he does have a blocker. Wait. Oh, well, he has another 7 done. So Kuzan pops, draws a card, and then probably just plays another small blocker. Why don't we take the? Oh no, you can only take Blackbeard Pirates, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And we play another blocker. Yeah, well, then he pitches his card for leadability. Says like, okay, yeah, you got to go through 3 life, 2 blockers. Yeah, this
No on
is
place.
and no one plays. Yeah,
Pine
this
of
feels
Dooms.
rough. Yeah,
Do we have a Reaper to
nah,
like maybe
I don't think.
some Reaper and blocker combinations can help us? So if we
I feel
have a
like at this
Reaper,
point, yeah, I feel like at this point you need something to get rid of the 2 blockers and yeah, we just play Holy Jones, right? Honestly, at this point, no, we don't have on plays, right? So we need the Reaper and Holy Jones to win this somehow.
speak
I don't
of the
think,
devil.
I guess. So
That
maybe
basically means no blockers.
or maybe a dragon. Dragon would be good, right? A dragon in this case. No, it wouldn't be enough, because hmm, I don't see a way where this is good. Maybe it's
Those
just
are
like some.
eights. So we need 5 dawn, 3 dawn. Oh my god, no, there's not enough to clear everything.
I was thinking about going for game, right? If you have Russia,
Yeah,
but
I'm
we
not
don't
even
have Rush.
sure we have them in the deck.
No, we probably don't.
Like the only rush is basically character rush, so that's not gonna help us out.
So Rosa for next time. Put like some 3 cost Zoros or like Kid Killer in there, and you win the game. Like actually, swing 5 brand new. You swing 7 Kid Killer. You swing 9 Leader, and you swing 9 Kobe. You win the game.
And that's it.
Oh, that was
Okay.
rough. Couldn't get through at the end, but I mean, fair enough. Teach takes the best of 3.
Yeah, that's good advice for every deck. Really, just don't play into teach. It's fine. It's a long and grindy road. Nobody cares. Okay, so that was the game. Unfortunately, the hero did not manage to beat the Emperor, and we can confirm that Wolf is the best card in the format.
Yeah, it was actually the tech that won him the game here, actually. So put it in your decks, guys, if you want to beat Kobe, I guess.
Yeah, you might as well give it a go. And now we get to take a look at Division 2 and how the table's looking after this week's results. So we can see how CJ managed to pull his first win and overtook Hevene to get out of the last position in the league. So we have some competition going down on the lower end. And we have Jack getting a bit closer to the top three with these extra 3 points.
I
Nice
wish I
one.
had competition on the bottom of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rub any salt in the wound.
That's all
You'll
my
do
fault.
better. You still have 3 games, right? You can still claw your
Sure.
way out somehow. Um, okay, and at the top of the table, we got Dietmar kind of running away with it with Arch closely following, but they already played each other, and that's where the game difference is coming from. Dietmar did manage to beat Arch in a really, really close game. And then we have Labon 3 points behind. We are 3 games away, basically, for most of the players. So, yeah, kind of interesting.
Dietmar didn't lose a single game, was it? Is it?
No, no. Actually, it's the only undefeated across both divisions,
That's
right?
crazy.
At this point in the league, because Rails decided that Whitebeard was worth the game for whatever reason. Got brainwashed by American Whitebeard mains.
He just
And
didn't want me to like get like another competitor down there on all three, like with 3 points. He just wanted me to get like some wins. Oh,
yeah,
nice guy.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think that's kind of what second division is looking like. We're gonna take a small ad break before we start the next game. Hey, 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 Nuren, welcome to the chat. We're doing good. It's been a long game, but at least enjoyable. I've had fun. I don't know about you, Trey.
Was amazing. It was fun looking through what Teach can do, even without a stage, and some tech cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like we're just gonna do a small ad break now. Anyone who's on Prime will not get that. So if you don't have your Prime sub or a general Twitch sub, consider getting it. We appreciate every follow and every sub and every like shout out, pretty much anything, any kind of support. We really appreciate it, and that also will guarantee that we will not have any like random ad breaks during the final game of today. That will be happening right after this for Division One. So yeah, stay tuned. We will be back in, I don't know, 5 minutes or less. Thanks for watching.